Basho, the famous haiku poet, wrote, "Since my house burnt down, I now own a better view of the rising moon." Now that's someone who's detached from his stuff. While we don't have to go to such extremes, still, we can do well to cultivate a similar sense of non-attachment. Developing such an attitude will make it significantly easier to declutter our homes. Imagine, what if you were presented with a fabulous, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but you had to move across the country in 3 days in order to take it? Would you be filled with excitement and start making plans? Or would you look around your house and worry about how to get everything packed up in time? Would you despair at the thought of transporting your stuff across thousands of miles? Or worse yet, find it completely ridiculous? How likely would you be to decide it's just not worth the hassle? You're settled here, and maybe something else will come along some other time. It seems crazy to consider, but would your stuff have the power to hold you in place? For many of us, the answer may very well be yes. Things can be anchors. They can tie us down and keep us from exploring new interests and developing new talents. They can get in the way of relationships, career success, and family time. They can drain our energy and sense of adventure. Have you ever sidestepped a social visit because your house was too cluttered for company? Have you missed a child's soccer game because you were working overtime to keep up with credit card payments? Have you passed up an exotic vacation because there was nobody to watch the house? British writer and designer William Morris penned one of Minimalist quote that says, "Have nothing in your houses that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful." It's a wonderful sentiment, but how exactly do we put it into practice? After all, we don't intentionally bring useless or ugly things into our homes. Yet somehow, some less than desirable seem to find their way in. The solution? We have to become good gatekeepers. Needless to say, things come into our houses by one of two ways. We buy them or they're given to us, but we have the power to exercise complete control over what we buy. We just need to use it. Don't let down your defenses when something slips into your cart. In fact, don't escort any item to the checkout counter without extensive questioning. Ask the following, in your head, of each potential purchase. Do it deserve a place in my home? What value will it add to my household? Will it make your life easier? Or is it going to be more trouble than it's worth? Do you have a place to put it? Do you already have something that could accomplish the same task? Will you want to keep it forever, or at least a very long time? If not, how hard will it be to get rid of it? See, that's not too difficult. All we need to do is stop and think why before we buy. Remember, too much clutter can weigh on our spirits. It's like all those items have their own gravitational field and are constantly pulling us down and holding us back. We can literally feel heavy and lethargic in a cluttered room, too tired and lazy to get up and accomplish anything. Contrast this with a clean, bright, sparsely furnished room. In such a space, we feel light and liberated and full of possibility. Without the burden of all those belongings, we feel energetic and ready for anything. Most of the time, we may be tempted to enact a quick fix and create the illusion of uncluttered space. We'll just nip on down to the superstore, nab some pretty containers, and make a minimalist room tout de suite. Unfortunately, simply stuffing everything into drawers, baskets, and bins won't do the trick. Out of sight, out of mind doesn't work here. Even stuff that's hidden away, be it in the hall closet, down the basement, or across town in a storage unit, stays in the back of our minds. In order to free ourselves mentally, we must shake off the stuff entirely. We have to consider, in addition to crowding us physically and stifling us psychologically, things also enslave us financially via the debt used to pay for them. The more money we owe, the more sleepless our nights, and the more limited our opportunities. For example, travel is a wonderful analogy to the freedom of minimalist living. Think about what a pain it is to drag around 2 or 3 heavy suitcases when you're on vacation, whereas minimalism, on the other hand, makes you nimble. Imagine traveling with only a light backpack instead. The experience is positively exhilarating. You're mobile, flexible, and free as a bird, able to tote your bag to museums and tourist sites and stash it in a locker when need be. It's much the same with life. When we surround ourselves with things, we're like a tourist in a taxi, cut off from other people and all the interesting things that are happening out there. Our stuff builds up to form a prison around us. In becoming minimalists, we dismantle these dungeons, item by item, and regain our freedom. When we're no longer chained to our stuff, we can savor life, connect with others, and participate in our communities. We're more open to experiences and better able to recognize and take advantage of opportunities. The less baggage we're dragging around, both physically and mentally, the more living we can do. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more empowering content. Thanks for watching.